Hi, I'm Yuzilla from Lenovo. I'm here at IFA a day before the final event. As you can see, the setup, we're just putting the final touches here. I've got here our 7 insiders, our top tier super fans who share their brand love for Lenovo on a day-to-day basis. So here I've also got David Roman here, our CMO.
Great. Hi, everybody.
Who has graciously agreed to answer some of the questions, some of the burning questions that the insiders have about the recent rebranding efforts and also the marketing strategy. So Kim.
Hi David. Well, as you know, we talked yesterday, and as I told you, I'm from Denmark. And one of the things I've been wondering is the marketing effort in Denmark. Now with all the new branding and everything, it's been almost non-visible in Denmark, and I think that's a shame. I know we're not that big a country, but there's a real market for your products. So I'm wondering, why haven't you done more?
Yeah. You know, it's a challenge. Obviously, we have to reach a certain threshold, and in Denmark we've been very strong on the business-to-business side, so we have a very strong commercial presence. You know, and now we're building the consumer presence. I know it's a high priority market for us, so we'll go back to the team and sort of make sure we can prioritize. I think the things that we can do is move very quickly into a stronger digital presence, and also do our social media better. And actually, that's where all of you help us a lot as well. But yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge for us. But I think that these new products actually take us into some of these spaces. So in terms of the smartphones, in terms of the yoga tablet and so on, there's strong growth in that space as well. So
Takes me to my next question I have for you. You said the smartphones, because that's the thing I've been wondering like crazy about. I can't, for the love of God, understand why you haven't tried to introduce your superb phones to the European markets, especially in Denmark. I know there will be a market for it, and you don't need to have a carrier agreement. And you have a distributor network in place already with all your PCs that all sell phones as well. And everyone is looking for something new and exciting, and that isn't like the guy next to you have. And you have such a great and interesting lineup of phones. Why the heck not?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'd love to, and I think we've been conservative for two reasons. You know, one is we wanted to make sure that we got everything right. With smartphones, we have to have the right support for the volumes that are going out there. We have to have, the little tweaks that it takes in each place to make sure that the radios work perfectly. The experience is a really cool experience. But I think now we have a lot of those things in place. So we are doing it country by country, and I don't know where we are exactly in Denmark. We now have a new person actually driving that in EMEA, Oliver Ebel, who I think is great, because he knows the markets very, very well. He's got a major motivation to make it work. So I think we'll move faster than slower. But we want to make sure that when we bring smartphones to a market, the experience is the level of experience that we want to have over time. And with smartphones, that is somewhat different than PCs, so it does take us longer to get going.
But a lot of people are they're very interested in new things. So I think it could be a cool idea to get perhaps just 5 or 20 phones out into the hands of fans or business clients that you have in a country, just to start the hype, because everyone says, "Oh, what's that? I haven't seen that before." It was some other brands have employed that strategy, and that's worked very well for them. I think it could be a cool idea to
We'll take your feedback. As a marketing person, I'd love to be everywhere. So Denmark is a great geo, so we'll be there.
Great, we'll be definitely be sharing your feedback to the right
Yeah, I'll
colleagues.
talk to Oliver. Yeah.
Okay, next up we have Leonard, who has a great question as well.
Hi David. I heard you talk today in the morning that this rebranding that was performed for Lenovo, and then you talked with the CIO, so maybe more for the business-to-business part, that they were also very excited about it. And until now, the ThinkPad brand was a very business-to-business brand, and I was wondering if this whole change in the brand image would bring ThinkPads maybe closer to together with the consumer products.
Yes and no. So I think, as a product brand, Think is very much associated with professional usage. And so the values of the Think products tend to be the strength, the engineering excellence, performance, and so we want to continue to do that. We think Think is a professional brand. Now it's true that professional usage is spreading. It's no longer just companies that are buying; it's individuals that are buying, and also within companies now more and more. They're letting people bring different devices to work as long as they plug into the network. So that whole space is evolving. We do want to keep Think as our professional brand. So we don't want to ever compromise the values of what makes a ThinkPad a ThinkPad. And a ThinkPad will always be a product that you can drop on the floor and jump up and down on it, and it will work. I mean that's what makes a ThinkPad a ThinkPad. But making it a bit more interesting, making it more exciting. Our markets are changing. We see the audiences are changing. Millennials, which we address on the consumer side, going to business as well. And if they enjoy a certain technology at home or outside of work, they expect to have that at work as well. So in that sense, there's a strong evolution of it. I think the issue of Lenovo as a company, we want the brand to be a brand that can stretch across these different businesses. That's who we are as a company. We are in the commercial space, the professional space, we are in the mobility space, we're in the PC space. So we want a brand that, as a company brand, goes across all of those. But I think you will see evolution of Think. And it certainly will follow the way the market is going. But at the same time, we're not going to compromise our Think brand in any way, ever. I mean, that's a sacred thing at Lenovo. We really feel very strongly about that, and we'll never compromise that.
Thank you.
Andreas, you have a question as well?
Yes, my question is regarding to the smartphone. People always love a brand who has distinctive products. So I've seen so many smartphones from Lenovo and split up into two different brands. Isn't it a bit luxury doing this? So bringing so many products, so people may have problems to decide which is the right one, and two different brands they have to know.
It's true, and we may have been a bit over enthusiastic in terms of the number of products that we rolled out. We sort of got into that business. And grew very, very rapidly and addressed lots of different opportunities at the same time. I think now we're looking at how we consolidate that more. In fact, in the recent organization change that we announced, we're actually aligning more closely all of the resources that we have, both on the Moto side and the Lenovo side, so that it's a much more cohesive team. And we want to leverage the expertise that we have in both areas. We'll be looking at the roadmap over time and saying how can we have a roadmap that's more focused on where the markets are going, where the users are, and I think that will help sort of clarify. But we acknowledge that we've had probably too many different products. The brands, we're looking at that now. We have the Moto obviously is a strong brand in many countries. Lenovo with Vibe has actually become a significant premium brand in a number of countries. They tend to be quite separate, so we don't have many places where we have both. India is one country where we have both brands, and so far they seem to have coexisted well. We've taken some slightly different spaces, and but over time you'll see us bring together more of what we're doing. But we acknowledge we've had lots and lots of products and probably too many. But if you look now at the announcements that we made here at IFA, I think it's clearer than we've done in the past. We've got some phones that do some very specific things on the Vibe side in terms of the ability to do the dual lens selfie and move around the backgrounds. The very large battery life, very significant battery life, and on the other hand, on the Moto side with Moto X and the new Moto G, we've consolidated where those products fit. So I think over the next year we'll see that, in terms of the long-term product roadmap, you probably will see things coming together more.
Thank you. And just one last question from Benjamin here. He had a question about the gaming line of laptops.
Yes, I wanted to ask about the brand Medion you acquired a few years ago, the German tech brand. And I wanted to ask why does Lenovo still use that name? Why doesn't you use Lenovo for all laptops in Germany?
Medion is a very strong brand in its own right. It's a strong company. I think their business model is somewhat different. The relationship that they have with Aldi and with other retailers is different. We want to leverage that, and that's why we think there's a lot of value in still keeping that. There are a lot of people that value their past experience with Medion. The products are designed by them. They are supported very strongly by that team. So we're seeing again more integration of actually the Medion assets with the Lenovo assets, but we don't see any need to actually change the branding of the products. We find that Medion is addressing a space that we've not addressed with through other Lenovo products. So we think it's actually working quite well, as it is. So, and in fact, even at this event, you can see we sort of highlight the Medion products in their own right. There's a whole set of products that we don't have from Lenovo. I was just looking with great longing at that 85-inch TV from Medion, which is a wonderful thing. But we find the Medion team, first of all, has been a fantastic addition to Lenovo. Both their founder and CEO, Gert and Christian, the whole team is a great team, very strong team. They understand the consumer space very well. They understand part of the German market very, very well. So we find that's been an incremental asset for Lenovo. We don't really see a benefit in changing that.
Thank you, David. So for more news on what we're launching at Lenovo IFA, please follow the Lenovo social channels and follow #Lenovo IFA. Thanks and goodbye.